for three. Yes! Here's quick release three. Got it! And it's good! Our playoff coverage begins on this Monday night as we're up at Winchester High School north of Boston. The Durfee Hilltoppers have made the trip with us for round one. Hello again, everybody. I'm Evan Massoud, joined by Brendan Kelly here courtside at Winchester High. Brendan, it's great to be here for a playoff game. You know, when we saw the schedule, I said, wow, familiar place. We were just here for your boys' volleyball playoff last May.
Yeah, we were here in May. It's good athletics up here, familiar surroundings. A lot of my guys play basketball too, so they should be comfortable on the court.
Well, for the home team, the Winchester Red and Black, they're coming in at 13-7. They got the 32nd seed, one better than Durfee, so they get the home game. But they've lost 4 of their last 6, so coming in on a little bit of a lull into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's playoff time, though. None of that stuff matters. It's a brand new season. It's a quick stop. Brackets come out Saturday. A lot of teams in Division I under 32 made it, so they got to get things rocking and rolling right now. Big thing for Durfee is, can they win in their red uniforms? Coming up on the bus, they've struggled on the road. This will be a big test for them. If not, it'll be a fast playoff season.
Durfee's only road win came in the regular season finale across the street at Bishop Conley High School. So to your point, Brendan, they got to get it done on the road or the season's over. We talk about some of those tough games. 2 of them stand out, New Bedford on the road and Somerset early in the year. They win those 2 games, we may be at Durfee tonight.
Yeah, those are things right now that we can't control. Durfee plays a good schedule. This is probably the most balanced the South Coast has been in a while, Southeastern Mass basketball. So those things happen. Somerset was earlier in the year, but, it's a new season right now, and it's, like I said, it's a fast start, and we don't want it to be a fast end.
All right, folks, we have all the action coming up for you next, live from Winchester. We hope you'll stick around. Live coverage is next, right after the break.
Fall River Public Schools has opportunities for positions in multiple areas for people looking to work with the next generation. Come grow with our team. We have openings for teachers, paraprofessionals, and teaching assistants, and other educational support positions available. We are also looking to fill operations support positions such as custodial, security, and food service. We offer competitive salary and benefit plans. We have rewarding work available in our 21st century schools and learning environments. Come grow with us. Please contact the Human Resources Department at 508-675-8420, extension 53708, or see our postings on our website at fallriverschools.org.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Winchester High School Gymnasium. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly with you. It is the playoffs. Here we are, talking on the way up here with our cameraman, David. I can't believe, Brendan, that it's already playoffs. We literally have had nothing postponed due to snow this winter. Everything's gone right on the date. I haven't had to reschedule anything on our end either. It's pretty amazing when you think about it.
It is wild. It feels literally like it was yesterday. We were home against Marshfield in the prelim last year, and then we were at Franklin. I mean, it's a full calendar year. If you told me it was last weekend, I'd believe you.
Yeah. Meanwhile, and never mind that, I mean, we talked about the boys volleyball playoff game. I feel like we were just here.
That's one of the cool things about this new state tournament format where you're playing some untraditional teams.
Yeah.
Randomly, Durfee has got a kind of a, we're up here 2 times in a calendar year, volleyball, basketball, same gymnasium. I think it's cool.
Well, it definitely gets you to see some opponents that you wouldn't normally see as the Hilltoppers look for a long ball to get it started. And that was hard off the rim, no good. We do want to tell you as we start the broadcast here that no official word in terms of Fall River Public Schools canceling tomorrow, but Lynn Classical. Lynn English, thank you. The opponent for the Durfee girls playoff game, they already canceled for tomorrow, so therefore they can't play. So the Durfee girls home game in round one of the prelims, excuse me, they will be playing on Wednesday now at Durfee. We will have that game, but it was originally going to be tomorrow. But regardless of what happens with Fall River Public Schools, because Lynn canceled, they're not playing, and therefore the game has been rescheduled. So no playoff basketball tomorrow. Girls home Wednesday at 6:30.
I'm sure my wife will be happy with that. That was instead of 2 days in a row, we'll have a little bit of a gap. So
yeah, rest the vocal cords.
Yeah, hopefully we're all week and into next week is the goal.
Sure.
With both teams in the playoffs.
It's funny how things work. Well, we'll break it right now. We just got the official email from the Fall River Public Schools. Due to the timing of the impending storm, which will make the morning commute hazardous, there will be no school tomorrow, Tuesday, February 28th, 2023. All after-school activities are also canceled for tomorrow. 12-month employees should check with their supervisors for additional details in regards to their status. Please be safe and have a great night. So you heard it first, literally seconds ago, this email coming in. No school for Fall River Public Schools tomorrow.
Evan, that was a great job breaking the news right there. You sounded very, very important. I'm sure our listeners are echoing the same.
I don't think I've ever been told you sound very important, but I like that. That's a good compliment. That's great. We never break stuff first, and look at that. Right live on the air as we're talking about the weather, it comes through. I'm not surprised. 6 o'clock, this is usually about the time that we would have it anyway. So that kind of a good thing that it happened while we were coming on live. 5-2 the score. There was a 3 there from Winchester. Going for another 3 here, no good. Let's take the starters. Brendan, why don't you take the Hilltoppers, the visiting team tonight?
Traditional lineup for Durfee right now, number 1, Eric Lucas, and number 3, Jaden Espinal at the backcourt. The front court of number 23, Jaleel Simmons, number 5, Devontae Stewart, and number 22, the man in the middle, Alexis Montilla. This has been Durfee's pretty much lineup the entire season right now. So,
yeah, as you said, pretty standard, and Coach DeCruz wanted that rebound. 2 Hilltoppers there, and they don't get the rebound. The Winchester Red and Black, though, get the 3.
Yeah, this is the tough part of coming on the road in a tournament atmosphere right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, I don't like the way, and I do it as a coach now too, we spend so much on the final destination rather than the journey.
Yep.
And then we get to this playoff atmosphere and we treat it like, not a normal game. And it's not, and the kids know that, but it's really hard coming up into the road right now. And here we are, 4 minutes. It's a fast 4 minutes.
Yeah.
8-2, which is really not anything, but it feels louder than it normally is. And Durfee's just trying to kind of ease their way into it right now. Shots aren't falling, and there's a big tempo push for Winchester right now.
Well, and that's the key. And when you're not used to that environment. And meanwhile, we have 2 fan buses. Another 3 for the Red and Black. And that's going to spark a timeout. Ketterer with that. Let's run down the starters. We're going to head into the timeout. Starters for Winchester, whose name is the Red and Black. Don't get confused with Durfee. Number 2, John DeMichaelis. Number 11, Dylan Ketterer. Number 12, Thomas Lampert. Number 24, Matthew Hugh. And number 33, Connor Brennan. And Winchester led by head coach there, John Fleming. It is his 11th year as head coach here. We were talking, I was just going to say, the fan buses here, obviously Winchester fans you see at the top of the screen behind their bench have filled this little kind of auxiliary section, the modular bleachers that they placed back there. Those weren't there for the volleyball game. They were practicing spikes and whatnot, and digs back there for that, but they've moved those out for extra seating. Durfee's 2 fan buses have not made it to the building yet, so they must be in some serious traffic, which is unfortunate because the Hilltoppers could use some of that backing here, could have used them right at the start of the game.
Yeah, right now, this is a little bit of a louder start for Winchester. Durfee's just going to settle down. We talk about this all year. Durfee plays on confidence.
Yeah.
And when they have some shots falling and they have things going, they're at usually a better tempo than they are right now. And you can definitely tell that this is a home court advantage for Winchester as Jaleel Simmons takes a nice move to the rack and is able to kind of stop the bleeding a little bit right now. Durfee's going to dig down defensively right now. They look a little bit flustered. They're unorganized right now as far as defensively, but Simmons
that's the
with
bread
a
and
fast
butter.
break.
That's the bread and butter, the steals from the Hilltoppers, getting the hands in there.
Great job by Durfee coming out of that timeout right now. That was kind of a Coach DeCruz doesn't usually call timeouts this early in the game. That was a good timeout. They needed to do that. Durfee definitely looked a little flustered going into that timeout, but nice job coming out as Winchester's just on fire right now.
Hugh with the 3 ball. That's the 4th from downtown in these first 4.5 minutes.
It's tough. I go a lot of times, I go back and forth with my own basketball philosophy on whether or not to switch things up really, really early in a game, go against your game plan, or try to play they're not going to shoot like this the entire game. And I've been burned both ways, but Winchester is off to a very, very good shooting start.
Well, I'm watching them in the warm-ups, too, right before.
That's the third time, not to interrupt you, that's the third time at that exact same spot that a Hilltopper's gone down slipping. I wonder if it's just their shoes or out of control or what, but kind of curious is 3 times in that exact same spot.
Well, the floor is kind of different. We were down on there before. It's a wood look, but it's kind of a laminate. It's not hardwood.
It's not a hardwood, and it's also not what we have.
Yeah, it's not the rubber either.
It's not what we have in the field house. This is a different type of gym than we normally play, and I kind of think it's pretty cool. There's
Another
a 5th 3 right now.
The outside shot.
Durfee really right now, this is kind of demoralizing a little bit right now. Everything they're throwing in is going in right now. But patient right now. It's still, I feel, a little bit louder than it actually is. Get to the free throw line, make these right here. Just got to settle in. You can't let your emotions get the best of you this early in the first quarter.
First foul of the night for either side.
Is that? And I always say how bad I am with following the stat book and talking at the same time. Is that the 5th 3-pointer that's gone in?
Yes, you were right.
No,
you're right. That's the 5th one.
Not to reminisce too much, but this is, and you wouldn't know because you weren't at that game, Newton South in 2013.
But you never let me forget that I wasn't there either.
Remember you were on
Here
vacation.
We go.
Same thing happened.
You son of a gun.
Same thing happened to us against Newton South. Emily Chang, great player, played at Brown. The same thing.
Yeah.
And Durfee's out with a little bit more pressure right now, trying to make it a little bit tougher for Winchester.
Sure.
Winchester's going to look for another one. This will be a heat check.
Good pass down low, and a foul from behind by, looks like it's going to be Stewart. And it's the first for Durfee. Stewart made both free throws on the other end. And it is a foul on Devontae, who's wearing number 5 on the road. No road number 2. So the usual 2 that he wears, he switches to 5 for the red jerseys. First free throw missing from, is that Brennan? I believe that's Brennan.
Shame on the equipment manager for not tracking that number 2 last season. Whoops.
Both free throws miss. 4 Hilltoppers watching the ball go to Caucus Quinn.
Durfee needs a really
Not
good
boxing
settle.
out well. There we go.
They need to settle down on the offensive end right now. Get a clean basket. As Simmons, nice job turning the corner on the floor, though.
Foul on the floor. No shot. It'll be the red and blacks' second foul.
Very fast first quarter, as we like to say. A minute 50 already left.
Inbound pass was deflected. Montilla gets there. That foul was on Lampert. Quick jumper from Stewart, no good. Little off balance. Montilla not able to put it back. And down the court we go. Basket good.
We talk about it at the beginning right now that it's playoff basketball right now, and seedings go out the window. This is just proof right here. Winchester is just crisping everything that they're doing right now on the offensive end. making it tough defensively as Espinal with a nice pull-up jumper. But they're just crisp on everything. Their cuts, their passes, their timing right now. And obviously it helps when you make 5 3-pointers in a quarter.
Well, and that's really the difference here.
6.
Make it 6, yep.
Durfee right now is just, they can't let the frustration of these bombs spill over right now. I know it's tough visually when you're seeing this. I mean, everything that they're throwing in.
Well, you know what, too? It's another example as well of, yeah, everything's accurate, but Winchester has height. They have the size advantage as well.
Yeah, these are big boys. These are big guards right now. Strong. I mean, they're executing their stuff. Simmons with another nice piece right here. Dangerously throws over.
I thought his foot stepped out of bounds, honestly. That was a close play.
I always get scared with throwing the ball underneath your own basket.
Yeah. Foul against Winchester, the third. This one on Hugh.
Right now, if Durfee can get a good possession right now, I mean, obviously a 3-ball cuts it to 7, but, you know, obviously not the start that you wanted, and an unbelievable stop by Winchester.
Yeah.
This is something that you can totally work with if, you know, you're Durfee right now. 7, we've seen 7, you know, plenty of times right now. You know, they just gotta stay strong right now. They gotta hold their emotions in check.
Well, even with all the long balls, they're only down 10. If they can knock one down here, you're down by 7, 8 at most. That's not terrible when you consider how it started. Espinal stripped. Looking for a foul, doesn't get one, 5 seconds. Thrown away. Durfee with 2.5 seconds now. Going to be very challenging to get down the court.
Simmons done a good job on the defensive end. He's got a couple of steals, a couple of good deflections. That's what he's best at right now. These possessions are so important right now, Durfee. These short clock possessions right now.
My bad. It's actually Winchester ball.
Winchester's going to go right into there, kind of beat the clock play.
Hand it off. Lost it. No foul. That's the end of the first. Shot is off. No good. All right, so a 10-point lead for the home team. 22-12 Winchester after 8 minutes, but not a horrible end to it. Kind of a rougher first 4 minutes than anything.
Yeah, playoff atmosphere, I mean, if you're not ready for it or if you haven't been involved in it, it's a little bit different. I was always told and taught that, you know, usually after 4 or 5 minutes, things start to even itself out, and it did a little bit, but when you shoot that well, you're going to put yourself in a good position, and let's not get it twisted. John Fleming's one of the best coaches in Massachusetts, period. Does a great job in the basketball program, and I know John from the volleyball world from being up here last year with the boys, and he runs an incredible girls program. I don't know how he did. I was talking to him before. I don't know how he does it. You go from mid-August, the girls' season starts, and if you're pretty good, you're playing into November, and this program is good, and they were, and you get a week, 10 days, if that, off, and then it's right back into basketball. And basketball it's just different. You know, it's long nights, 7 o'clock games, 6:30 games, and he's going to come right back in a couple weeks regardless of the outcome tonight or this week. And it's boys season, and they were tremendous last year.
They were.
So, I mean, he is one of the best coaches in Massachusetts, period, and what a gentleman, too. Nice guy.
Yeah, great to talk to as Lamore. Highly contested. Had to talk about a non-contact sport, and they were reaching, almost clotheslined his shoulder.
Winchester's kind of playing that pack right now. I mean, they're aggressive on the wings, but if a guy beats them, they're right there. And here's where we're talking about before right now. Their last 3 haven't gone in right now. So maybe if you survive that initial output, you know, not bad. But right now, defensively, you know, they're playing well. It's just a solid man-to-man right now, and they're going to pack everything underneath. There's 3 guys right now.
Lucas's pass deflected. Lamore gets there, and the basket no good on the second try.
Nothing's going to be easy tonight, and it shouldn't be. This is this next level of basketball. Again, we talk about getting to the playoffs right now. You got to be ready for it too. I mean, this isn't a random night in January.
this kind of start actually kind of reminds me of Franklin last year in Game 2 that we saw. For 3, that one no good. It sails. But, like, Franklin could do nothing wrong, you know, in the game that they hosted us. Ultimately, Durfee's last game last season when they were eliminated.
You know, we talked about it. You talked about it in the beginning. You know, you look back at a game early in the year, Somerset. You know, you mentioned New Bedford, and you know, I truly do believe those things happen. South Coast is as balanced as it's been in a while. But you're 100% right. You've got to be on every night, because here's the deal: if this game's being played at Durfee, you know, maybe this is a little bit of a different start for Durfee, rather than, you know, coming up to a gym that they don't normally play in right now on a Monday. You know, I joke quite often, Durfee has a tendency to struggle on Mondays.
Yeah.
And, you know, here we are, and Winchester's not struggling.
No, you're right. And, you know, the Somerset game was so early in the season. But the New Bedford game, that was the killer, in my opinion, for a game that you should have won. You know, you look back at the season, and that was, to me, 100% one that they should have had. You know, they had a double-digit lead and lost by 1, you know, and that was a killer. And it was a game that you led the whole way. Yeah. So that's probably the one that stands out. You know, there's always one that really stands out. That's the one for me.
High school sports, you have to get on a bus, and you got to play half of your games not in your own gym. And if you're going to be good, you have to put your big boy pants on, and you have to, you know, be able to do things on the road. It's just as simple as that.
And, you know, the road struggles this is kind of uncommon. You know, there were a couple seasons in recent memory where we actually did better on the road than we did at home. So, I mean, this is kind of a rarity that it just turned out this way. But now, interesting, you know, with the onslaught of points we saw in this first quarter, here we are 3 minutes now into the second, and neither side has a basket.
Yeah, this is, you know, what I talked about before. Things tend to even itself out as you get going. You look at some of the scores, you know, with Winchester this year, they seem to be very comfortable playing in the 40s. Yeah. You know, this is not the pace we started out, but now a little bit similar to where we're at right now. They do a nice job executing, getting a nice, as simple as it sounds, a nice close one.
Brennan with the basket. Open 3 for Lucas, and that's good. Espinal's not out there, huh? I don't see him. Am I missing him?
He's there.
Oh, he's in the backside.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, Simmons is not on the floor right now out of their normal rotation right now.
Yeah, Lamore, because Lamore's there. That's what threw me off. I didn't see Espinal on the far side. Open 3, no good.
This is definitely, you know, where they're not going to be able to try to out-jump. They're going to have to block out and grab one and done. If we're playing volleyball, you know, this isn't going to be good here. Winchester doing a good job of, you know, when Durfee with a nice three-pointer, they answer right back.
Good pass to Montilla. Tough shot, rebound as Stewart goes down. And all the way across, and no good for DeMichaelis. Now pass the other way. Quick transition for Durfee, and that will go. That was Espinal.
Durfee's doing a good job of not letting it get out of hand. 20 is not what it used to be, but in a playoff atmosphere on the road, it can be. And Durfee's doing a good job right now. They've just got to string together a couple stops and scores. You know, and here we are already at the 3-minute mark. It's closeout time with another one.
For the 4th time in the half.
This kid's shooting the lights out right now. You know what I love about it, too? He's back playing defense. There was no pointing to the crowd. There was no bow and arrow. There was no 3 to the head. I like that. I mean, I understand that it's part of the game now, and emotion's good, and I think emotion should be part of it, but this kid's cool.
All they're hitting are threes.
This kid's cool. He hits a 3, and he's back playing defense hard right now, and you look at him, body language-wise, you'd never know it. He's going right there, and he's guarding Durfee's best player in Espinal right now. I like this kid already. Right back on defense.
Lucas Baseline, pass to Montilla, dribble, has it stripped. And Winchester takes it back. That's DeMichaelis looking for a lane, goes down, out of bounds it goes, no foul. That's an inbound pass now for Red and Black.
DeMichaelis, I like the way he's playing his game too. He gets the ball up the floor, pushes real quick.
Well, the Durfee fan bus seems to have just finally made it. That's frustrating.
Hugh with a heat check. Winchester's just doing a great job of just really getting under the basket, making it tough. Number 15, Riley Clark, is old school as it gets. He gets right into that what would be circled area, straight up, not making it easy for the Durfee guards. Durfee back into a man-to-man right now. They're really trying to get Hugh loose right now.
Flips it up, no good, out of bounds.
Winchester just crashing 4 guys to the basket.
That was, all right, well, it's a travel, but the ball was taken out of bounds.
Two minutes right now. This is closeout time. Durfee's going to do a good job as the 6th man coming in right now. Hopefully they can give them a little bit of a energy push right now. Winchester, 3 guys in the circle. Simmons with a great take, strong take right now. 11-point ball game right now, 2 minutes. Durfee's got to do a good job, try to string together a couple stops.
Yeah, I mean, they're not out of it. It feels like they are early just because of the shots that have gone down, but they're not out of it by any stretch. They just got to put something together.
And this is where having home court advantage and really executing your stuff on the half court, what Winchester's been doing.
Quick 3, looks good. It's just off the rim, no good.
Montilla's starting to get busy a little bit on the defensive rebound inside.
Yeah, that's a solid rebound. He boxed out. Espinal wants 3, that's good. Big time 3 as the Durfee crowd gets settled.
And here we go. This is an 8-point game right now. Echoing what you just said, a couple of stops and a score or 2 right here. There's a lot to work with as John Fleming calls a timeout. Just going to settle him in.
Sure.
And right now, he doesn't want to waste his start right now. They're gonna come with a nice side out right now. Looking as the grease board's out right now, they're gonna draw something up right now to try to get a bucket. Because on the other end, where you're Durfee, and it's not as bad as it may feel. Fleming and Winchester right now, they don't want to waste their start right now, and.
No, because they led by, I think, as much as, was it 13? Yeah, 13. So now it's down to 8 with 1 minute and 8 seconds to go before halftime. Been an incredibly fast first half. We've only seen 2 sets of free throws. Everything's been on the floor. So here we are. We started right at 6.
I mean,
25 minutes.
I know.
This is like unheard of how quickly the game's been going here.
This is the fun part of basketball right now. This is where, your stuff in practice right now, you're working on. This is something right now you can tell Winchester's going to come out with right now. This is a set play that they've worked on right now. They're going to go for a bucket right away. And that's the fun part. You build up all year for this stuff. And, I've always thought this is the cool part of basketball.
Well, Durfee getting loud. The 6th man is here, and you can hear the defense chant. And they lost possession. Hugh with a miscue.
Yeah, nothing. I might have overstepped with the complexity of what was happening, but Durfee kind of got lucky right now.
Lucas trying to pass it. It was blocked.
Trying to look for a little bit of the bump. This is big boy basketball right now. You're not going to get those little bumps down there. This is playoff basketball. You got to be strong with the ball.
Yeah, and I credit our officials at least through 2 quarters here that they have not been crazy with the whistles. They're letting them play, and I think there's a fine line there, in a game like this where the adrenaline is sky high. Let them play within reason,
I think officiating. We've done a lot of games together this year. I think in an era where officiating they're getting buried, and and people don't want to officiate, and rightfully so. Why would you? I think some of the best officiating I've seen in a long time at the high school level, when they're under a microscope, and they've done a really good job. And these three guys really have done a good job. It's been a nice flow of the game.
Tipped, and the Hilltoppers have it. 20 seconds. Lucas, coast to coast, and it goes.
10 seconds right now. This is super important for Durfee. I'm not sure he realizes that the clock didn't stop. And that's what I feared as a homer, that Durfee was going to bail them out, which exactly they did at 1.8. So instead of a 6-point, they held Winchester to, if I'm not mistaken, 8 points up to this point right now.
They did.
6-8, although it does look like it's going to be out of bounds right now, was on the floor.
Wow, yeah. Coach Fleming not happy.
This point of the season, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but these time and score situations are gigantic. It's a 1.8 seconds. This is so important right now for Durfee to not bail out and not let an easy one right now.
Right,
because it's a big difference.
Here it is.
And that's just great execution by Winchester.
So 32-24, the Hilltoppers, though, definitely make some headway here in the second quarter to cut it to 8. Again, given how the first 5 minutes were, not bad. And now you got your fans in the house. So I think we got ourselves quite a ball game here as we get ready for the second half. 32-24. Brendan?
Fast first half.
Yeah, very fast.
I've been around a lot of high school basketball in my day, and this is outrageous how fast this game was, and well played, but just fast. I mean, it's 20 past, the start time right now, and here we go. Ev, you're always talking about moving things along. I mean, 9 minutes on the clock already, so
yeah,
crisp
we'll
in the locker room, and we'll be back at it.
All right, folks, halftime break is upon us. We'll see you on the other side with the third quarter of the preliminary round game between Durfee and Winchester. Watuppa Rowing Center is uniquely located on South Watuppa Pond in Fall River, the only school of its kind in the region, tuition-free and open to all.
At Watuppa Rowing Center, we're really looking for you. There's so much potential here, guys. You can be a part of something so cool.
South Watuppa is a non-tidal freshwater pond large enough to accommodate a 6-lane race course. For most of the year, we are out on the water, and during the winter months, our rowers head inside for strength and conditioning.
I thought it would be a good idea just to try it, and I came here and now I'm stuck, I guess. I love it.
We would like to have athletes or kids that want to learn to row, no matter the background, because that is how you get the diversification. This is a sport that can fit anybody who wants to do it.
Our schedule is flexible. When you are ready, we are here. We want to make you the best you can be.
We're kind of up and coming. What we want is to make sure that rowing is accessible to anybody and everybody who wants to try it.
From your first practice to your first regatta, our experienced coaches will be there to support and encourage you.
WRC Fight! I've been looking for a new hobby, so I tried it out, the summer program, and I really liked it.
At first it's going to seem real hard, but the more that you do it, the easier it gets.
Student rowers learn hard work, dedication, and integrity, vital skills that directly transfer to real life off the water. Crew is the ultimate team sport.
Ready and go! 5! Yes!
When we get in that boat, we know we all have to watch out for each other, make sure we're all doing our jobs, because each part of the boat has their own job. And if you're not doing your job, then someone else is going to suffer.
Rowing can be another course to higher education. You might even be eligible for scholarships.
Our goal for us as coaches, right, is to build that foundation right now, get those kids, get high school kids, get middle school kids that might like to do it, and hopefully they love the sports as much as we do, that they want to take it to the next level.
At Watuppa Rowing Center, there is so much to see, so much to learn, and so much to love, and it's right here where you live. For more information, visit our website at watupparowingcenter.org.
I'm Mike Labossiere, What's Upper Reservation Forester.
And I'm Paul Ferlin, the Administrator of Community Utilities.
Protecting open space is a benefit today, and it's a gift to future generations.
For over 150 years, Fall River has been a leader in environmental preservation. The Southeastern Massachusetts Bioreserve ensures forests and fields remain undeveloped and accessible. The Community Preservation Act is a vital component to fulfill climate goals.
Since 2017, CPA funds totaling nearly $1.3 million have been used to acquire conservation areas in Fall River. Educational programs within the Bioreserve connect families to nature and promote understanding and respect for diverse culture, history, and wildlife.
Half of Fall River, about 12,000 acres, an area the size of Mattapoisett, is protected water and woodland. Healthy forests minimize flooding, reduce erosion, and provide habitat for endangered species.
As the region expands manufacturing and technology, people are directly reliant on green infrastructure as an irreplaceable source of clean water and air.
Miles of trails wind through unique landscapes which appeal to hikers, cross-country skiers, and mountain bikers. Specific areas are open for safe seasonal hunting. The Bioreserve promises endless discoveries and recreational experiences year-round.
CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
Hi, I'm Kristen Cantara Oliveira. I'm a member of the Community Preservation Committee and the Historical Commission. Welcome to the Lafayette Durfee House.
I'm David Jennings, curator. Built in 1750, this is one of the best living history representations in Massachusetts.
Judge Thomas Durfee, the original owner, was also an admired patriot. Judge Durfee made sizable purchases of equipment and weapons to outfit Revolutionary War soldiers, including his own son. Generals and Minutemen frequently met here for secret and strategic military planning.
But by the 1970s, the home's significance was largely forgotten and it was slated for demolition. Preservationists rallied, first to fund the restoration and secondly to resurrect interest in the heroic Durfee family.
The original frame and foundation are intact. Craftsmen worked tediously to repair or replace decorative elements.
Visitors are encouraged to handle artifacts and work alongside artists. The Lafayette Durfee House is included in the National Register of Historic Buildings and exceeds standards of the Secretary of the Interior.
However, time continuously ravages the one-of-a-kind structure. Grants from the Community Preservation Committee, as well as monetary contributions, spearhead the efforts of tireless volunteers.
CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
The School Administration Building at 417 Rock Street was built over 100 years ago by craftsmen from around the globe.
And Mr. and Mrs. William Brayton, mill owners, raised their 9 children in this statement home.
Decades later, the property became too costly for a single family and was gifted to the Fall River School District. Architects reconfigured the 22 rooms to accommodate administrative staff.
By 2018, this historic structure was compromised, eliciting mold and water damage. Once dubbed the last big house on the hill, this extraordinary piece of architecture was in poor condition.
Care was shown to restore artistic elements, including the circular railing and banister, chair rails, crown molding, antique and oak flooring. And the building is now handicap accessible.
Roof work was the primary concern for the Brayton House. This new pitched surface directs water to a modernized drainage system.
10 years ago, Fall River residents voted to adopt the Community Preservation Act, which allows for a 1.5% surcharge on property tax bills to incentivize history, travel, diversity, and recreation. CPA funds have supported thousands of significant projects in Massachusetts. Thank you for your continued interest in community beautification and betterment.
Hello, my name is Laura Ferreira, the Director of Traffic and Parking. During a snowstorm, your safety is our first priority. At times, a parking ban may be necessary to ensure access for emergency vehicles and to allow plows to clear streets. A general rule is park on the side of the street opposite the fire hydrant. For more information, please visit our website at www.fallriverma.org and search parking ban. In addition, you may call the Mayor's office at 508-324-2600 or the Office of Traffic and Parking at 508-324-2123. New England weather can be unpredictable. Notification of a parking ban will be made early to give residents the opportunity to move their vehicles. Thank you for your assistance and cooperation.
Welcome back to Winchester High School preliminary round boys basketball D1 playoffs. Durfee on the road, down by 8. They closed the gap a bit in the second quarter to cut it to a 3-possession game as we begin the second half. Evan Massoud and Brendan Kelly with you as both cheering sections making themselves heard as we begin this third quarter. In case you missed the top of the broadcast or haven't seen the news, we did receive right at the top of the broadcast that Fall River Public Schools is closed tomorrow due to the snowstorm, or the impending snowstorm. So girls basketball tomorrow has been rescheduled to Wednesday. So the girls basketball playoff will now be Wednesday night, March 1st. How's that sound? March 1st at 6:30 at the Fieldhouse. We will have coverage of that game. Additionally, the city of Fall River just posted to Facebook about 8, maybe 9 minutes ago. There is no parking ban at this time, but that's why we ran that PSA. So, you know, if there's any issues or questions about parking bans, you know, check back to the City of Fall River Facebook page as well as the Fall River Government Channel Facebook page, our sister channel, for the official word as to parking bans. But right now, nothing has been announced by the city, and it doesn't seem, at least at the moment, that there are plans to, based on the phrasing of their post. So, all right, that's it for business. Back to hoops. Hilltoppers, Jaden Espinal leading the charge, 13 points through 2 quarters. Simmons with 6 for Winchester. Hugh with 12 points, all from downtown. That's a beautiful layup from DeMichaelis to open the scoring here in the second half.
We got ourselves a nice atmosphere now. It took a little while to get both crowds into it right now, but we're in a pretty packed gym right now. Nice loud atmosphere right now. This is what it's all about.
Hugh with the break to the basket. Foul called on Lucas. Didn't see much contact there. Looked like the ball was already out of the hands. Meanwhile, I had a Hilltopper get knocked down on this end, no whistle. The foul against Espinal, his second. And it says Durfee with 2 already here in this.
Devontae Stewart was called for 1 on the perimeter, the last possession. So both teams are trying to pick up their intensity right now. This is a very important start to the third quarter for both teams right now as Winchester goes back up 12.
Yep, 4-0 run. 4-0 run for Winchester to start the third, and now looking for more. Corner.
Hugh wide open.
Wide open, he misses. Lamore tips it. Montilla. No, that was Simmons, excuse me. Going up for the rebound to snare it, and it's Durfee ball.
Eric Lucas coming back into the game right now.
Yeah, Hilltoppers need a basket right now. Get on the scoreboard here in the third. Only 2 from downtown. Lucas with 1 and Espinal with 1. Close to a travel.
Winchester, just a great job defensively, collapsing. Durfee, if they beat that first guard or they beat the first perimeter player, they get right down there, and there's 3 guys, hands up, making it tough as Lampert, and one.
That's a bad foul. Tough foul. On a beautiful play from Lampert.
Right now, first varsity action.
Yeah.
Number 34, Alvin Gaston in right now, the freshman, 3-sport athlete. Seeing his first action right now, Coach DeCruz. I don't hate the move right now. You got to try something as far as energy purposes right now. Gaston, he's a motor.
Yeah.
And this is a guy right now, I think, in 3 sports.
He was in football.
Yep. And he's a very good baseball player. This is a guy right now that I think we're going to hear a lot of in the next 3 years as Winchester's full court right now, trying to gain an extra possession right now.
7-0 run for the red and black.
Both literally and figuratively, Winchester sees red right now. They are really going to try and close the door on Durfee with a full court press coming out of halftime.
Lamore for 3, all reliable.
Big 3 right now for Lamore. Hopefully to get him going. That's his first bucket right now.
That's a huge basket for the Hilltoppers. He's been such a spark off the bench all year.
He's really had a great year.
Blocked, it kicks outside. Winchester keeps. Rebound again, out of bounds. Durfee ball.
Again, got to block out. Can't try to out-jump these guys. Not at this time of the year. Full court press right now.
You know, watching Gomesy, he's not on the PA tonight because it's a road game. He's the mouthpiece for the 6th man. This is as active as we've heard them in like maybe 2 years. I love it. I know he likes the PA gig, but maybe he needs to do this too once in a while at home. Gaston with his first basket on varsity.
Coming in right now. Sometimes just come in right now and play hard is all you need to do right now. He's got a little bit of defensive intensity. Great backdoor cut execution by Winchester.
Q.
Durfee's going to make sure they're organized in a press breaker.
Tough shot. Might have been tipped off the mark. No good.
Again, I feel like we've been saying this, and this echoes very similar to where we were a year ago. It's not as bad as it looks right now, but you've got to make shots, and the clock is ticking.
Yeah. No, it feels a lot like Franklin. The atmosphere now, everything, it has that similar feel that no matter how hard Durfee tries, they can't get an open shot because the defense is just smothering. That was tipped, and a foul called against Hugh. There was contact. They haven't been calling a ton of them, but I'm okay with that one. So free throws now for Espinal. That's the first foul for Winchester. Hughes second. He had one back in the first. And 2 free throws for Espinal. This is only Durfee's second trip to the free throw line all game. Stewart had the first trip way back in the first and went 2 for 2. And Espinal with the first one made.
Not getting to the free throw line, that's a testament to the very good team defense that Winchester's playing right now. Again, they're collapsing right now, so when they're getting by, you know, that first line of defense, and that's a great job by their big guys, not trying to block shots, not trying to, they're just making it tough. They're just playing big, making it tough.
2 for 2. Hilltoppers 4 for 4 at the line. Again, a small sampling, but nonetheless, that's 4 points. When shots from the field are hard to come by. Durfee ball.
A rare error on an entry pass by Winchester right now. They've done a good job of taking care of the ball. And they're backing up their pressure a little bit right now. They showed it for a few possessions. They're back into the half-court man-to-man.
Espinal pulls up inside the arc for the jumper, and after a couple dribbles on the rim, able to get it to fall. Espinal's carrying the offense tonight. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17 points. Durfee's got 33. It's half the points.
He just puts the ball in the basket. He's been Durfee's main scorer all year. I mean, he just does a great job. And at this time of year, you want your best shooter shoot the ball a lot. Gaston right in there again.
How about that? He was airborne before the ball even hit the rim.
This
he was
kid,
anticipating it.
If he does what he needs to do athletically, this kid is going to be a fantastic athlete across the board in 3 sports at Durfee. And I'll repeat, if he does what he needs to do, he is going to be a very, very, very good Hilltopper. And he's coming right now, and he's keeping them alive with just hustle plays right now.
Lamore gets it to fall.
Durfee,
you said football, basketball, and baseball? Is that right?
He's old school when it comes to that. You don't see many of them guys.
The big 3.
You know, I mean, I love that stuff. You know, it's in the day and age of specialization. He's playing old school 3, and he's a contributor.
Corner 3, tough shot, no good, and Lucas able to stay in bound. What a tremendous play. Gets it to Gaston out of the perimeter. Now back to Lucas.
Durfee down 8.
Lucas for 3. That's no good. Nobody home to defend and box out either. So Winchester taking it back.
This is where Winchester's been a little bit better than Durfee right now in these situations of slowing things down, getting a good look in the half court. Lucas applying a little bit of pressure.
Wow, great take.
Great take, great finish right there.
That was DeMichaelis again.
He's had himself
2 in a row.
Really good game. Plays long and lanky, and I'd be lying if I said I've watched a ton of tape on Winchester, but this kid's really settled in nice.
Lamore wants another 3. That's going to be off the back of the rim. No good. And the rebound to Ketterer.
Credit Winchester right now. Every time Durfee kind of gets within that chipping point, they settle down. They play very calm, running that 1-4 high set. Great job by DeMichaelis. He's really the calmness that they need right there. That's a great pull-up right off that. They call that an Iverson cut right off the top screens. Great job.
8 points for DeMichaelis, 6 in the last 90 seconds this quarter alone. Under a minute in the third, and it's blocked by DeMichaelis. Hugh will take it back. Lead back to 12 for Winchester. Hugh loses the ball, picked up by the Hilltoppers. Espinal in traffic.
Great move. Looks like he's going to get 2 to the free throw line.
Yep.
And the story of the game, get this down to 10. Looking today, just doing a little prep, Winchester's very comfortable in this area right now, winning ball games in this score. I mean, they're not gonna hang 100 on you.
Right, you were saying that
but
earlier.
They're very comfortable in this situation right here, and that says something. It's tough to be good in this kind of grinded out situation.
34 seconds, so the shot clock will be off.
First year of high school season with a 35-second shot clock. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I kind of feel indifferent. I mean, I don't really think much of it either way. I don't think it's affected the game too much, but once we're coming down the stretch, it could somewhere.
20 seconds. DeMichaelis outside, corner 3, tipped by Lamore.
Durfee's got a full 15 right now to get a good shot.
Simmons back in, bounce pass to Espinal. 7 seconds.
Got to get moving a little bit.
Yep. Drops back for 2.
Espinal's done a great job on that little pull-up right there, not just settling for threes. 9-point ball game going in. Alvin Gaston, I really, really credit him coming off the bench, giving some minutes right now. Very calm in your first varsity. It's not easy. Your first real varsity minutes come in the third quarter of a state tournament game where things aren't necessarily going Durfee's way. And to go in there, contribute right there, I mean, he's going to find himself in crunch time minutes.
Well, Durfee put up 16. It's the best offensive quarter, but Winchester put up 17. So it was just an 8-point game coming into the second half. Now a 9-point game as we get ready for the final 8 minutes in a game that is truly, as we keep saying it, truly just flying by here. Tip-off was at 5:58. It has not even been an hour, and we had halftime too. So this is really remarkable how quick this game is going by. And part of it, again, is so few fouls, so few stoppages. It's been a great pace, a great rhythm. You don't always get that in playoff games.
Well, I think one of the things with the referees is a lot of leagues are adopting the three-man team throughout the entire season. So you get to this point of the year, it's not new.
Right.
And I remember when, coaching the girls years ago, you get into the state tournament, and then all of a sudden a three-man crew comes in, and they're not used to it in those first couple of round games, and you get a little choppy. A lot of leagues are adopting three of them right now, so it's not bad.
DeMichaelis loses the ball out off of Durfee. Lamore can't believe it, but it'll be Winchester ball. With that last jumper from Espinal, he's at the 20 points for the Hilltoppers, half of the score.
He's a bucket getter.
Yep. On the other side, Winchester really spreading the wealth. A lot of different players in the scorebook contributing, kind of not as much of a one-man show in a sense.
They're doing a good job, too, on their specialties, too. A lot of bounds. They're just running that very simple high screen down. We saw that at the end of the second quarter right now. They just got a clean look right here, put them at the free throw line. And, again, it's that same push and pull. Every time Durfee can kind of make a little bit of a dent, they settle in.
This is Ketterer for 2 shots. He hit the first one. The foul was against Gaston, his first, Durfee's 4th. Both shots made by Ketterer.
Leads back up to double figures at 11.
Gaston wants 3, no good.
No red jerseys crashing at all. I mean, it was decent blockouts by Winchester, but there was
nobody home.
Right now in the fourth quarter, you got to try to gain as many extra looks as you can.
Yeah, and I mean, for crying out loud, I mean, it's not like you're in foul trouble either. If you make too much contact down low and you get called on one, at least you're there. Another basket for Ketterer.
Guys got to realize jerseys are getting collected Wednesday. If they're not leaving anything they can. As Gaston comes in again with a big basket right now. Alvin, I have multiple scenarios in school. I'm proud of the kid. Mm-hmm. Coming in, that's not easy to do, and he's single-handedly kind of keeping Durfee around. Very efficient, under control energy. But Durfee's run out of time right now as this is just flowing. I mean, it's not even 7 o'clock yet.
I know. Ketterer stepped out of bounds on the miss from DeMichaelis. Durfee with the ball. If they don't start hitting some shots, though, it's going to be a very quick 6.5 minutes here. Espinal trying to get a lane.
Again,
just smothered.
One of the problems with this spread dribble drive offense is it's naturally got guys out on the perimeter where they're trying to let things go through. But there's 0 rebounding right now.
No, I know. Hugh with the miss. Tipped it away, though. Simmons.
Kickball.
Yeah, kickball by DeMichaelis. And Durfee will have it.
On a side out right now. That's a kickball, probably could have won one of 2 ways right now. Durfee 4 timeouts left right now. They're going to have to slow this game down time-wise. As Winchester with dropping 4 guys in the painted area.
Blocked, taken away on the 3 attempt from Espinal. Total denial.
Nobody stopped the ball.
No, this is where height is so key here. Durfee undersized. Lamore gets it back on the break.
We're right where we've been pretty much all game.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10 points.
Feels like Groundhog Day.
Timeout. Coach Fleming using the timeout.
It's the same thing he feels. He doesn't want.
Don't get too close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hockey will be starting in just about 5 minutes at Hetland Arena. Seems like this one's going to be done pretty quickly here. So, DCTV, Dartmouth Community Media, they're live streaming on their YouTube channel from Hetland. Diamond Durfee Co-op Hockey, well, it's Diamond Durfee Westport, but it's the Diamond Bengals at Hetland to play the Dartmouth Indians for the 3rd time in 2 weeks. They split the season series. Those games were 5 days apart. The Monday night was February 13th, and Diamond lost on the road. And then Saturday the 18th on senior night, Diamond won in overtime at Driscoll against that same Dartmouth team. So they're familiar with each other. It should be a really good game at Hetland. So when we're done here, for those of you who want to keep up with some hockey, my guess is they'll be probably just getting close to the end of the first period by the time we're done here. And again, girls hoops Wednesday, no school tomorrow. So girls hoops is now Wednesday night at 6:30 against Lynn English.
We've shouted out the hockey team a number of times this year, but it's great. I don't think the co-op could have worked any better. That was very close to a 5-second, and they did a good job.
Great job by the Hilltoppers. Get that ball back.
Yeah, shout out to the hockey program, both schools. It's great to see.
We haven't had playoff hockey
in a long time.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, we're not the only school that has to co-op now. It's pretty common practice in this area right now. So to just have Fall River kids playing together, winning some games, getting into the tournament, and a very winnable game, it sounds like, against Dartmouth. It's fantastic, and I'm happy for the program.
Yeah, and you hit it. That's exactly it. You're winning games, something that most of these kids have not had the opportunity to win consistently over the last couple years. So that's
Durfee very close to, excuse me, interrupted, very close to getting a 10-second violation right now, and Gaston looking to get a 5. This is a big defensive stop right here for Durfee. Durfee's going to have to keep him to one shot. Tough play.
Hugh went down, foul on the floor, fresh 35, 7-point game, 5:03 left to play. But you're right, Brendan, this is a huge possession right now, especially coming out of the timeout that Durfee got the 5-second violation on the inbound. They got a basket out of it. This is a big stop right here.
Winchester all night in these type of situations have gotten clean buckets.
That was Lampert with the basket. Juggled. Simmons comes back down with it. Montilla juggled it. Now Gaston looking for some room. Kicks it back out. Simmons wanted 3. Drops back.
Doesn't seem to be getting his footing tonight. It's his second or third time.
It's not the first time for any of the Hilltoppers. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Desperation 3 is no good. And the Hilltoppers come up empty.
We talk about that 35-second shot clock coming into play, and just did right there. That's just state tournament. That's just that extra effort right there.
Winchester ball.
Diving out of bounds, gaining that extra possession, diving into the Durfee stands.
Stewart
DeMichaelis, I love the way this kid plays. He plays hard. You can tell he's a leader on this team, not afraid of the moment. That's a great play. And Durfee got a little lucky right there as a nice little wheel. I don't know if half guys were on or not, but
Stewart literally just came back into the game, and before the ball's put back into play, he got tagged on his 4th foul. Durfee's 6th.
That's a big three-pointer by Lampert right there. That is a big one to go back up double figures for Winchester.
That might have just closed it out. I mean, 4 minutes is a long time, but tonight 4 minutes is like 2 minutes. It's been so quick, the pace tonight. That really could have just sealed it. Let's see. On the other side, Lucas can't get it to go. Great rebound by Montilla.
Lucas is up pressuring the ball a little bit right now.
Montilla's first basket all night.
Not traditionally a scorer, but
no.
He's impacted the game so many different ways this year and last year. He's really done a good job of playing his role and contributing to that without having to score, which is tough for a lot of kids these days to do. All you see is scoring, and you read the stats and max preps and this and that. But to be a very valuable player without putting the ball in the basket much is great. That's a testament to him as a kid.
Stewart with a tough rebound, comes away with it. Blocked, gets knocked down, stepped on. No basket.
Winchester can take it under 3 minutes here on this possession.
DeMichaelis, open three. Nobody guarding, kicks off right to Devontae Stewart, and Coach DeCruz will call timeout with 2:58 to play. His team down 10.
This is where we're going to have to use some timeouts right now, try to slow this game down as much as you can.
Well, let's look at the bracket here. The winner is playing on Friday.
Catholic Memorial there right in front of us scouting this game. That's another fun part of this time of year. You start seeing other coaches with potentials, and everybody's got their sweatshirt on and notebook. And
Yep, this is Catholic Memorial, the number 1 seed at 18-2. And they will host Friday, which is March 3rd, at 6:30, the winner of this one.
Whatever school goes there, they better make sure they RSVP. That is a small gym. I'm talking like Cuss Morton Middle School small for a high school gymnasium.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've been in there, so maybe I'm not giving it the credit it deserves, but that is a very small gym, and it plays very much so in the home
No
court.
field house. No field house.
And this is a field house here, I mean, but beyond the curtains.
Yeah, there's a whole other court to our left.
There's a whole other area right here. You know, it's a very nice facility up here.
Here we go, out of the timeout. Back out to the point. Simmons for three. That's huge. Big time three.
Durfee right now with a little ball pressure right now. They might be able to get. Durfee's got a chance right now at getting a 10-second, but good job by Winchester recognizing the clock. And they're taking the air out of the ball right now. I think it's a little too early to stop fouling, but this has to be a one-and-done possession right now. Now we're too deep into the shot clock.
10 seconds. Lost the ball.
Loose ball. Good job by Jaden Espinal getting on the floor.
Dual possession.
Durfee gets that ball right now. Durfee's got to let it all hang out right now. I mean, they got to get on the floor. They got to get dirty. A score and a timeout wouldn't be bad right here, just so Durfee can set up their defense. They don't need to rush.
No, but there's there's no room for error either. So there's some pressure here.
They can go fast without rushing.
That's a foul. That's just the first foul of this quarter for Winchester, the third overall.
Winchester does have a couple to use right now, so for their benefit right now, if things aren't going pretty good, they can get one on the floor and just reset the defense. So
sure. Three, corner, looks good, and it's just off the rim. Stewart, and it goes out of bounds. Durfee ball. Great effort to get to that ball.
Durfee have 3 timeouts.
I haven't been keeping track.
That
was their first in the half.
Yeah, they have one early. This is the coach in me. Usually when I get this deep, I just start asking the same question over and over again, and my assistants will just say, I just answered the same thing 5 times. So I believe they have 3, so.
Highly contested shot there put up, a lot of contact, no whistles. The jump ball called it. It is Winchester ball.
Again, I don't think they need to foul yet. I think, again, we can get into a situation where it's got to be one and done right now. Come back and you can get it to a 4-point game. This is huge. This is the season right here for Durfee as far as defensively. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock right now.
90 seconds in the game. Long three, no good. And the rebound will go back to Winchester.
They can take it under a minute right now. Now Durfee needs to foul. Stewart, I know, has 4, but this is going to be really tough for Durfee to come back from right now.
Three from Hugh, no good. Simmons with, Montilla with the rebound. You need a quick 3 here or something. A foul.
Great job by Winchester recognizing that they have a few to waste right there. That's the perfect scenario right there to waste one. Don't let them get one up right there. They still got a few to waste. All right, force Durfee to execute an out-of-bounds play. That's just heady basketball right there.
58.5 seconds left in Durfee's season, down 7.
They're going to be a little bit crisper on these out-of-bounds scenarios. And the same thing, Winchester's got plenty to waste right now. There's no need to panic on either side. Hugh didn't think that he thought it was just a hustle play right here, but again, force Durfee to execute. This isn't a bad thing by any stretch, and Coach Fleming's going to just settle his defense down.
Well, the thing is that was Hugh's 4th foul because he had the one a second earlier. So back-to-back fouls for Hugh.
Under a minute now. 7-point game. You got to be able to make shots right now. And again, utilize those timeouts. Slow the game down, stop the game, make it a possession per possession game. The Winchester players trying to get their crowd up and amped right now. They know it right now. A big stop. Get them a little bit closer to Catholic Memorial on Friday.
Quick 3, deflected, might have been, no good.
Durfee right now looks like they've retreated defensively. I'm not sure why they're not fouling right now, as Winchester's really kind of just going into his old school of a stall.
Durfee's 7th foul. They finally did wrap him up. It's the 4th for Espinal. 1 and 1, excuse me. 1 and 1 as Ketterer is at the line. He's 2 for 2 at the line tonight. Hits that one.
There's so many layers to a basketball game, especially a playoff game, and you don't want to look back on, a 3-4 minute stretch, but man, that first 4 minutes of the game right now, and
it's a difference.
You look at the scoreboard, and at this time of year, everything matters. And
yeah, you cannot give up 6 threes in the first quarter and expect to win.
And it's not necessarily a giving up as give credit. Winchester made some shots.
Oh yeah, sure.
And credit to them. That's making shots in big moments, but you just look at it as far as a couple things go a little bit different, you see where you're at, but I mean that's just a credit to them coming out right away, and now they look very calm and poised at the free throw line. Make your free throws. I mean, it's a 6-point game. Stranger things have happened. 3 timeouts to use.
Hugh at the line, 2 for 2 so far tonight. That one does not go.
It's a big miss.
It is a big miss. 19.5, Montilla with the heads-up play.
Now,
and Durfee will inbound.
High school, we don't get the NBA rule where we can get the ball to the side out. Right now, Coach DeCruz is messaging them to get the ball over half court.
Quick 3 again, no good. The rebound for the Hilltoppers.
Stewart fighting for his life.
Out of bounds, Durfee ball. It should have been a foul. You can't just push a guy out of bounds. I'm surprised. I haven't seen one of those.
Out of bounds. Durfee rushed their
That's game.
Side out.
That's going to be game. 9.4 seconds.
My style is to still foul one more time.
Right, it's not over till it's over, but it looks like that's not going to happen.
Winchester
going to run it out.
We'll see Catholic Memorial Friday night.
60-54. Tough one for the Hilltoppers, a winnable game. But the slow start, something that's plagued them in many games this season, particularly on the road, did in Durfee tonight.
Fantastic job by Winchester of settling things down and executing in important situations. They were fantastic in the half court when they needed to be, and those 3-pointers at the beginning, that is just loud and a tone setter, and really set the tone for the night. And, congrats to them. Listen, John Fleming's a good coach.
Oh, yeah.
This guy can coach multiple sports. This is not a surprise. This is a good athletic program. I mean, we came up here in the spring. We're back here in the winter. John Fleming can coach. I wish them the best of luck moving forward. CM, the number 1 seed, will be a tall task, but Winchester will be prepared, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's the good word here. A game that lasted not even an hour and 15 minutes. Pretty amazing. One of the fastest games we've ever done here. The good news for you folks is that if you want to watch hockey, click on over to the Dartmouth Community Media YouTube channel. Hockey just got underway 10 minutes ago at Hetland, so you can see how the Bengals fare against the Indians. But for boys basketball here in 2023, Durfee, their season is done. The girls coming up on Wednesday at 6:30 from the Hilltoppers home, the Luke Urban Fieldhouse. We hope you'll join us then.
I'll see you then, Ev.
See us then. All right, folks, until then, for David Montero on camera tonight, Brendan and I will see you Wednesday night. Be safe and enjoy the snow tomorrow.